This week, world football's governing body will decide who will host the 2018 and the 2022 World Cups. It all starts in earnest tomorrow in Zurich, with football celebrities and prime ministers and assorted royalty entering a final round of lobbying. England are vying against joint proposals from Spain and Portugal, Netherlands and Belgium to secure the 2018 tournament, and then there's the Russian bid. As Keme Nzerem has been finding out for this special report, Russian football is violent, racist, corrupt, and much of its creaking Soviet-built infrastructure remains. Yet it's the favourite to win FIFA's affections. Why?
The World Cup final in miniature, the Moscow Derby. Football's newest frontier, and Russia is giving FIFA the hard sell. Why choose predictable old England when football's gospel could be sung by eager new disciples in what were once the Soviet heartlands?
Russia clearly doesn't lack for any footballing passion, but is it really ready to host a World Cup? And if it does win the bid, what would it be like for the visiting fans?
We support the World Cup bid 100%, 200%. We want to hold it. We want to receive guests and to show our footballing culture.
FIFA says its core goal is, through football, to touch the world and build a better future. But what if the World Cup's 2 billion television viewers tuned in to this? Russian football isn't for the faint-hearted. Flares and fireworks are in theory illegal. And then there's the habitual violence. We saw one group of fans chase down another 20 metres from the stadium gates. Mounted police forced them back. Mass brawls are organised by phone or text. Videos are posted on YouTube, but there are strict rules. No weapons, and locations are secret until the last minute. The authorities promise World Cup security will be tighter, for they have also to contend with the rise of the far right. One fan saw our camera and thrust out his neo-Nazi tattoo. His friend was wary and made him hide it. In the background, we heard monkey chants when black players touched the ball. And there's no mistaking this, unfurled over the summer to insult a black player who'd been sold to West Brom. The head of the Russian World Cup bid says it simply means he failed a test. English fans might read it a little differently. Moscow's ultras were happy for us to film them. They told us they're not violent. They simply entertain the crowd. But they admit they're racist.
The Red-Blue fans movement is the radical right. We don't want people from the Caucasus and southern Africa to settle in Russia. We don't discipline them. That's what skinheads do. Skinheads kill them.
Will black fans be targeted? Maybe.
We can't answer for fans who are out of control. We can't answer for them. They could do anything.
I met these foreign students at Moscow's Friendship University. They say times have changed since their parents came to study here in the 70s. Then Africans were welcomed. Now they're warned to watch their backs when they leave campus. And going to watch football is out of the question.
They try to assault us by saying, what do you think you are doing in Russia, you black nigger? I would love to go and watch football when in my free time, but there is the possibility of being attacked.
While hate crime in general is falling, Africans report a threefold rise. Noel Maganga was stabbed in the back one night. He never saw who did it. But a Russian World Cup, he says, hey, it'll bring people together.
I know the culture, and if Russia hosts it, I'll be very glad. I'll be able to watch it, and it will be like it's my own.
Memorials to the Russians who died fighting Nazis light the capital. The country will have 8 years to persuade black World Cup fans they will be safe.
There is a problem of racism in Russian football. There is no doubt about that. And the problem is rather serious. It doesn't mean the World Cup must not come to Russia. The World Cup offers an opportunity. It could be a catalyst for some positive change.
But it's the rotting Soviet-built infrastructure that Russia says FIFA could really help transform. Dynamo Moscow's ground lies in ruins. They're promised a new one if Russia wins the bid. Sports analyst Alexander Bubnov played here many times and for the USSR at the Mexico World Cup. But, he warns, although Russia has thrown off its communist past, it still can't be trusted to deliver.
There is no infrastructure whatsoever. For that reason, Russia lost their bid to host the European Cup back in 2004. Since then, things have got worse. I'm not against my country. I just want the World Cup to be successful.
And, warns Mr. Bubnov, there's another reason FIFA should think twice. Corruption. In politics, in business, and in football. Even referees. Sergei Husseinov has officiated cup finals and internationals. He says some years ago he was offered $100,000 to fix a Moscow derby by one of the team bosses. And he claims these days his colleagues don't get work unless they take bribes.
Да, конечно, так до сих пор и происходит.
Yes, it's still happening. Unfortunately, that's how things have developed. If a referee doesn't do what he has been told to by his bosses, he risks losing his license. What proportion of matches are affected by corruption? Significantly more than half.
The Russian FA concede they and their clubs have work to do. Development money is flooding into the game now from energy companies and oligarchs. Lukoil sponsors Spartak Moscow. Their owner is worth $5.5 billion. Corruption, he's dealing with it.
It wouldn't be honest to say that we don't have problems with corruption. But in the past 5 years, we've made huge progress, and negative factors like match fixing are beginning to disappear. Football is getting cleaner, believe me.
Today's WikiLeaks revelations may describe the country as a virtual mafia state, but there's undeniably a new swagger about town. Red Square is now decorated with exclusive brands. On its way soon, the blingest thing in motorsports, Formula One. The Winter Olympics arrive in 2014. Next, perhaps the World Cup. If South Africa and then Brazil could persuade FIFA, why not Russia?
The tournament in 2018 could open the Russian football market, which is in the interest of football everywhere. Our government has given an unprecedented guarantee. Everything will be built on time and to the highest standards.
And Russia has run a slick campaign, the government promising £100 billion of World Cup-related investment. New roads, new stadiums, new airports and railways. The very issues FIFA's technical experts said were letting Russia's World Cup bid down. One of the weak points of Russia's bid is the country's overstretched transport network. And fans will be told, don't rely on being able to fly around, you might have to get a train. Instead, I'm on this one for 10 hours. The journey to Saransk, Russia's smallest World Cup city, is comfortable but hardly speedy. Flights on the fleet of Cold War turboprops are few and far between. In the Soviet days, Moscow built prisons here, but it's enjoyed a recent facelift. Now they're building a new football stadium. Of course, they'll have to knock down houses, but the residents have been promised new ones. The World Cup, says Saransk, is their future. And they're sending the regional governor to FIFA HQ in Zurich this week to make sure they know just what it would mean for them and indeed their country.
For FIFA, a victory for England is not a victory. But a victory for Russia is a victory for FIFA, because in England very little will change if the World Cup is held there.
If Russia wins, FIFA wins, and the bookies make them favourites to beat both England and Spain. FIFA's stated goal to take football to every corner of the planet. Moscow is one thing, Saransk is another. For the wannabe international stars at the Youth Academy, it could mean playing in a World Cup in what was once the heart of the Soviet Union. Russia's hopes now travel with their Zurich-bound delegation. On Thursday, FIFA decides. Keme Nzerem, Channel 4 News, Russia.
And there are reports tonight that 3 senior FIFA officials who'll vote on the 2018 and 2022 World Cup bids took bribes in the 1990s. The BBC's Panorama programme tonight claims Nicholas Leo's Jesus Hayatu and Ricardo Teixeira took £64 million from a sports marketing firm which was awarded lucrative World Cup rights. None of the men has yet responded to the claims. And a reminder, Keme Nzerem will be reporting from Zurich on Thursday as the FIFA decisions on who will host the 2018 and 2022 World Cups are made.